Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you. I hope you're all well, and we got another video for you today. We're going to do a review of some of my Star Wars Funko Pop collection. We're going to concentrate on some of the characters other than my Stormtrooper collection. So we've got Darth Vader, being electrocuted by Force Lightning. We've got Emperor Palpatine. We've got Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. We've got Darth Maul, and we've got Boba Fett. So we're going to jump into it. Do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leave a like and a comment, and let's jump in. So these pops are some of the original line of the kind of old school pops, like Boba and Darth Vader and Maul. You can tell by the kind of like the bigger eyes, or the kind of the more like bulbous head. Less of the kind of like intricate details that the newer ones have, where you've got that kind of smaller face and more details going on there, rather than the old style, which, like I've talked about before, was trying to fit it was trying to fit the characters into Funko rather than Funko into the characters that it was portraying. So I mean, some great pops though. Obviously, as everyone who's a fan of the channel knows, I'm a massive fan of Star Wars for many reasons, and the artwork and the visuals of Star Wars is one of those big reasons. I mean, taking a look at Darth Maul here, obviously Maul, an amazing character. I was a kid when the prequels came out, so like many people, the prequels has a particular resonance with me. I remember the first time we saw Darth Maul in Phantom Menace and the duel, the Starf lightsaber. Just seeing the double-ended lightsaber, and then me and my friends being able to go and buy those kind of like retractable lightsabers back in the day, and just fight each other in the garden and portraying the movies and stuff like that. That was so fun. I have great memories of that. And Darth Maul, obviously, in the new pop, I think the Clone Wars line of Darth Maul, he looks fantastic. I do like this one because he's got his kind of tattoos and things, so it's still good. But I like the newer one, like I say, because it has more of the intricate face details and things like that. In terms of pops, obviously you're not going for the high end like intricacies of like a 6 scale figure or a 12 scale Black Series figure or something, where you're getting a lot more detail and movement. Obviously there's as a bobblehead, it doesn't have much movement. So with Jedi Master Luke though, I mean, this was an exclusive. I forget, looking up on my collection, it's the Star Wars Celebration one, and it's pretty simple. It's just hooded Luke, but he does look awesome there with the green lightsaber and the hood up. I do like the new Luke with Grogu in The Mandalorian they've released. Again, it kind of shows you that intricacies of like even their sizing, that they portion the head to be its big bobblehead self, but with the body now has more of a slender feel and a more intricate kind of detailed feel, whereas the old ones have that kind of stocky wide look. But Luke's cool. Luke Skywalker, obviously growing up, one of my favourite characters, and the trilogy, the original trilogy, is the first Star Wars content I ever watched, and obviously I hold that very dear to myself. That's why I'm a massive fan. That's what got me into it. And obviously that takes us on to Darth Vader. So obviously you can't have Star Wars without Vader. I'm actually currently listening to the audiobook of The Rise of Darth Vader, Dark Lords, and I've just finished Darth Plagueis by James Luciano, and that was fantastic. I read that on paperback, but I'm listening to the audiobook of the Darth Vader, The Rise of Darth Vader, and that's fantastic. Ahead of Kenobi coming out in a few months, I wanted to kind of get on that hype beforehand and run up to it and kind of really get back to the roots of that part of the story and the intricacies, and trying to remember some details and learn some new details and nuances about what we might see in Kenobi, so I can understand it more. That being said, again, I'm also queued up to read the Star Wars Legends Kenobi book by John Jackson Miller. I've got that in paperback, sorry, and I'm going to be starting that soon, again ahead of Kenobi. And then we've got the Darth Vader Electrified by Force Lightning. Now, this was in the re-release line, I think 2 years ago now. Is it 2? It was. I remember getting the first kind of orders around the first lockdown times in 2020, so I'm not sure when the line was released. But I mean, like the Han Solo from that collection, and there was a Leia and a Wicket. I don't have Leia and Wicket, but the Darth Vader is so cool. It's kind of like a translucent skull that's blue peering through the helmet, just like we saw in the original Return of the Jedi film. And again, as a kid, so Star Wars to me is so special because of the practical effects and how amazing the original trilogy was. I think built on when it was made and the time and the technology available. George Lucas's story was, a fantastic story, don't get me wrong. I think those aspects though of the practical effects and the models and things like that really brought it together to establish it as to what it is now. Because I mean, you have the Mandalorian now. It's the and Book of Boba we just saw, like with the Luke scenes. The technology now is so impressive, and that's fantastic. It's amazing, but it's so nice to have gone on a journey to get there rather than being kind of gifted that. Because I feel like a lot of franchises and films, they rely too heavily on the technology of the times to make the story rather than vice versa. And then here we've got one of my favourites, Emperor Palpatine. Palpatine is one of those characters, especially after I've just read Darth Plagueis. Palpatine's always been one of my favourite characters. As kind of the famous lines and his role. I mean, of all of the masterminds in history, he would have topped them all. his undercover mastery of the master plan and making it all happen for years and years. In the Darth Plagueis book, actually, I really suggest reading it. It shows you about the rise of Darth Plagueis and then him finding Sidious and him from when he meets Plagueis to when we kind of see him emerge in the Phantom Menace, and it kind of really explains Sidious and his tie into the big plan. I mean, I didn't kind of know this before, like dipping into the Legends books and things like that. I knew to a degree, but a lot of Emperor Palpatine's plan was the original Plagueis plan that he kind of was a part of and then took over when he portrayed Plagueis. Again, Darth Plagueis by James Luciano is an amazing read. I definitely suggest it. But yeah, Palpatine looks fantastic. The Force Lightning being a little bit purple is cool, but it's strange that it's not blue, but it's a cool choice. And then here we've got Boba. So the new Book of Boba series obviously got a lot of mixed reviews. I love it in the sense of it's more Star Wars content that has been thought out. It's not like the sequels where they're trying to make you fall in love with characters but not giving you a good enough reason. Obviously bringing back Tamaris Morrison and Boba and these beloved characters is fantastic. I thought the series was great, up and down. Like there was parts that I loved, parts that I thought were fantastic, parts that I thought but it's a TV show, so it's kind of that different era we're in now, where Star Wars content is going from films more into a TV format of multiple episodes ranging in time. So things like that are going to differ. But Boba here, obviously an iconic character, one of my favourites. I love Boba Fett. It's just so like mystic and cool. And this is the old school one, so obviously he's got that stocky body, but the colours are great, and he's really captured the likeness of the character. But yeah, so that's the Star Wars collection I've got. I used to have a bit of a bigger one, but I've downsized a little bit and focused more on my Black Series collection, but still got some of the gems in there. So yeah, that wraps up this review of these Star Wars Funko Pops in my collection. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Definitely well worth a pick up if you can get your hands on them. But I'm going to leave you with that, guys. Take care. and I'll see you in the next one.